Here we have a 2008 Volkswagen Fox. It's got 73,000 miles on the clock and it's the 3-cylinder petrol engine. So this one's in for a service today, and as part of the service we're going to be doing the oil and filter change. So let's get the bonnet up. So as with any oil and filter change, I always like to take the cap off and pull the dipstick up just to let a bit of air back into the engine while the oil is flowing out from underneath. There's the oil filter housing here. As you can see, it's got a nuts hex on the top. It's only a plastic housing. No, next size. So that is a 36mm. So I'm going to use what I've got to hand, which is a ratchet and a socket, if it'll fit in there. Clearly you can use a spanner. Just depends what you've got in your kit, really. Actually, I'm going to put some blue roll over the alternator. You probably don't really want oil going in there if you can avoid it. I will probably get a little bit out of here. Flip that over. So as you can see, good job. I did put the blue roll there because we did get a little bit of spillage. The rest of the oil, once the filter was taken out, you saw it go down the hole in the middle there into the sump, ready to be drained. But anyway, first off, I'm going to put this in the vise and swap the oil filter over. Right, so this should just pull out. Sometimes they get a little bit wedged, a little bit of leverage with a screwdriver there. That's got that. And also you've got a rubber O-ring on the housing here. That's that one off as well. Put that down there. The filter's the same, whichever way up you put it on this. Pop that down there. One good tip, before I push that home, hold some tissue or something around it, even though I don't believe there's any oil in there. I've had it before where you push it down, it clips in, and it all squirts out there, hits you in the face. So the O-ring back into the groove where the old one came out. That's it. And that's good to go back in. Right, so, oh look, there was another little bit of oil. Get this back in. What a mess. So on the top there it says 25 Newton meters. If you've got a torque wrench handy, you could set it to that. But you've just got to be sensible, remembering it is plastic, and just give it a little nip. That'll be fine. Just going to wipe up that bit I spilt on the under tray. It's a good job this is only a 3-cylinder. I've got plenty of space around here. Okay, that's the filter done. So this Volkswagen has a 19mm sump plug, you can see here, which is accessible, so that's a result. Sometimes they have an under tray, like a belly pan, just a plastic shield covering them up, which you have to remove. I'm using a single hex socket. You definitely get a better purchase and less chance of slipping. So just crack that loose. Hopefully the thread's okay on that, because that feels tight. Normally you'd be able to undo that by hand once you cracked it loose. Ah, it's getting looser now. Yeah, so I'll have the oil drainer ready. It's warm but not hot, so it shouldn't shoot out everywhere. And we've pulled the dipstick and taken the cap off, so that should help it flow smoothly. That's it. Okay, we'll leave that for a few moments until it's drained down. So I've got the sump plug here. As you can see, it's got a washer on it. That comes with a plug, you can't take it off. Just make sure it's not crushed or split or anything, it looks fine. You can get replacement sump plugs from the same place, same factors or dealer that you get your filter and oil from. I've had a look at the thread, it looks absolutely fine on the plug and it looks fine in there as well, so I'm not too sure why it was tight most of the way out. You start it easy enough by hand, but yeah, then it gets a bit tight. Nip that up, give that a wipe off. Right, let's get some oil in. Make sure the dipstick's up to reduce the chance of the oil coming back up and sploshing out of the cover. So the factors where I got the parts from recommend 3 litres of engine oil for this engine. I'm going to put in approximately 2.8 litres, then just start it up, let it tick over for a little while, circulate around the engine, and then we'll leave it for 3 or 4 minutes to stand and settle and check it on the dipstick. As you probably know, there are numerous different grades and types of engine oil, but your motor factor or dealer will be able to recommend which one's suitable for your particular engine. So get this cap back on, dipstick back down. I'm going to start it up and just let it tick over. You don't need to rev it, especially as it's been drained. Sometimes it can take a few seconds for it to pick up the oil. And it's a good idea to make sure your oil pressure light goes out straight away. Yeah, the light's gone out. That sounds good. That's running nicely. So we'll switch that off and let it stand for 3 or 4 minutes and then check the level. So while we're waiting for that engine oil to settle, I just thought I'd show you this novel idea. Look at that. Something you don't see every day. Right, let's check this level. and see where we're at. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit low, otherwise I'm going to have to take it back up in the air and drain any surplus out. So that was 2.8 litres of oil, and that's actually a little bit too much. And they recommended 3, so I'm going to have to take it back up in the air and just drain a little bit out of there. Having too much engine oil in an engine can cause just as much damage as having not enough. So unfortunately we're going to have to go through that procedure again. Right, let's get this plug back out. Strange, that thread. So this can be a bit messy because obviously I don't want to take the plug right out. That's why it's a good idea to put less oil in than they recommend to try and avoid this scenario. Put that on the floor because that's getting a bit heavy. Gonna make a mess one way or the other. I think that'll do. Hopefully that'll do. Right, try again. Right, clean this dipstick off. Let's have another go. Hopefully it will be a little bit low if anything, and I can just put a little dribble in to get it to the maximum. Ah, that's better. So this little bend here is the maximum. I'm just going to put a tiny bit in. That will probably do. I'll leave that again for 3 or 4 minutes and dip it again. Right, so that's been settling down for a little while now. And as you can see, that is just below the maximum mark. Good place to be. So that's just right. Much easier to top up in dribs and drabs and try and avoid what I've just had to do there, drain a bit off. So oil filler cap back on, dipstick in, the sump plug's tight, the oil filter housing's tight. I'll give that a run around the block and check for leaks, but I'm fairly certain everything will be fine there. Hopefully that's been of help. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully the video's been of some help for you. And if it has, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It will help our channel out no end. Cheers.